Well, congratulations, James Wood High School class of 2020. I can't tell you how excited I am to be part of this moment, part of this celebration. I was just sharing with Mr. Gross earlier, I'm doubly excited because A, I get to share in this moment with you, and B, as Maggie said earlier, I am a fellow Colonel. Just graduated a few years back. By a few years, I mean 30, but it's just like coming home now. So excited to be back here. I'm not going to take up a whole lot of your time here today, but I do want to share with you 3 life lessons that have served me well over the years. And coincidentally, these lessons I learned when I was a student here at James Wood High School. First one happened my senior year during an assembly that we had in the auditorium. And again, it's been 30 years, so I can't tell you who was speaking or what they were talking to us about, but I do remember this. They were giving away fantastic prizes. They were giving away t-shirts. The people on stage were giving away buttons we could put on our jean jackets. They were giving out stickers we could put on our Trapper Keepers. And they're giving out cassette tapes, brand new cassette tapes. And yes, I know I'm dating myself, but the prizes were just that fun. I get excited just reminiscing about it. I say they were free prizes. Let me back up a little bit. You had to actually earn these. And to earn these, you had to go up on stage and do something humiliating. Do something to embarrass yourself. So folks were going up on stage, and I still remember one student went up and hopped up and down on one leg and clucked like a chicken. Boom, you got your cassette tape. Somebody else went up and had to fake propose marriage to somebody in the crowd. They got their free t-shirt. Somebody else had to go up and dance like Milli Vanilli. Class of 2020, if you don't know who Milli Vanilli is, Google them and you can thank me later. People were doing this and having a great time up there. And I remember sitting next to a buddy of mine in the auditorium. We were watching the exact same scenario play out, and we had complete polar opposite reactions to what we were seeing. My buddy couldn't have been more excited. He was on cloud 9. He said, "Oh my gosh, we have a chance to get free stuff." I looked at him, I said, "My gosh, are you crazy, man? Look what you have to do to get this free stuff. You have to go embarrass yourself. You have to humiliate yourself. You know, I'm having a tough enough time getting a date here my senior year. I don't need any of this extra credit to humiliate myself this way." And we went back and forth and back and forth. He was talking about how great this was to get these free prizes. And all I was concentrated on was, my gosh, these people are humiliating themselves to do this. At the end of the day, my buddy walked away with some cool swag that he got up on stage. I walked away with nothing. And it wasn't until years and years later that I realized the significance of this moment. My buddy and I had both watched the same scenario play out, but we both focused on 2 different things. My friend focused on the opportunity. I focused on the obstacle. And I found that really in the world today, we end up, most of us, in one of 2 camps. Some of us out there make a career of focusing on the opportunities that are in front of us. Others, like I was back in 1990, choose to focus on the obstacles. I'm here to tell you right now, when you focus on the opportunities in your life, you will find them everywhere. They will be present every single day, and they will be larger than life. On the flip side of that coin, if you choose to focus on the obstacles in your life, you will also find those everywhere you look. And a lot of those will start to seem insurmountable. So you have the choice. Which lens do we want to look at life through? Do we want to see the opportunities, or do we want to see the obstacles? I'm here to implore you, it's your choice. Focus on the opportunities in your life. Second lesson I learned as a James Wood Colonel all those years ago. This lesson came from when I was serving detention one afternoon. Yes, I'm just as surprised as you that I got caught, but I was serving detention, and it was after school, and here's what was going on. While I was serving my detention, simultaneously, there was another club that was celebrating. This club, and I can't remember what the award was now, but they had just won some national award. They had some notoriety, some achievement, and they were celebrating that win. So I was in the cafeteria during my detention. They were in a classroom on the other side of the building. I remember this distinctly, and I'll explain why in a second. I was basically the free caterer for the day. I would take the drinks and the snacks and walk them over to this party and let them continue their celebration, their well-deserved celebration. I would bring a tray of soft drinks, I'd bring a tray of chips and popcorn and candy bars, and they would continue the celebration. When they were done, I'd go get another tray and bring back to them. Well, they were really in celebration mood this day, and their pace of celebration was faster than I could keep up with them. So I'm running trays of food and drink to them as quickly as I could, but I just couldn't keep up. And finally, the teacher that had given me detention that day showed up, and she said, "Jay, how's it going?" And I explained to her, I said, "I'm doing everything I can to keep up with this party, but they're outpacing me." She's like, "Well, you're just not using all your strength." Well, I took that as a personal jab. I said, "What's she talking about? I'll show her how to use my personal strength." So instead of just carrying one tray, I started stacking 2 trays and carrying these. And I loaded these up. These weren't light. And I'm running these there, dropping them off, bringing things back. At this point, I'm sweating. I'm getting a little bit winded, but I'm using every bit of my strength. And I still can't keep up with the pace of this party. They're eating the snacks and they're drinking these soft drinks quicker than I can serve them. So fast forward about 15 minutes later, the teacher comes, checks on me again. I said, "Jay, how's it going?" I said, "I'm working as hard as I can." I said, "I just can't keep pace with the celebration." She said, "Well, I told you before, I'll tell you again, you're not using all your strength." And I said, "Okay, now it's personal." I said, "Here's what we're gonna do." I stacked the trays with soft drinks. I stacked trays on top of the soft drinks with soft drinks on top of those trays. And I'm lifting these things up like I'm some sort of Olympic power lifter. I'm holding these up, I'm walking them over across the school to the other room. And these are heavy. Now I'm sweating more profusely. My arms are trembling. I'm spilling a little bit of the drinks when I get there, but I'm doing my best. The teacher can't tell me I'm not using all my strength anymore. So I get back one final time. Teacher asked me, "How's it going?" And I said, "I can't keep up with the pace of this party. And before you say anything, yes, I'm using every bit of my strength." And she said, "No, you're not." I said, "Explain to me, how am I not using all of my strength?" She said, "You haven't asked me for help." And I said, "Okay, will you help me?" She said, "Sure." And she brought out a cart on wheels where we could put about 5 times as much as I was bringing every time and let me roll that to the party. And as angry as I was at that moment that she tried to turn this into a teachable moment and made me work so hard, I've never forgotten her words. I've never forgotten her words. Everyone that's hearing this right now, no matter where you are, know that you have strength. You are a strong individual, and you will rely on that strength in the next stage of your life and throughout. That strength may be physical, it may be mental, it may be psychological, it may be your personality, whatever it is. Your strength will help you to be a success in life. But your personal strength will only take you so far. Mr. Gross mentioned it earlier in the connect piece that you were talking about. There will come a time in your lives when you will need to rely on the strength of others. You will need to rely on others to complement your strengths, to encourage you, to empower you. And when you do that, you'll see what true success really is. It becomes compounded. And we can go further than we ever could on our own. So I'm here to remind you today, as you go forward in the next stage of your life, look for people that build you up. Look for people that make you stronger. Seek these people out to do life with. More importantly, strive to be a person that brings strength to other people's lives. Never, ever be afraid to ask anyone for help. And more importantly than that, never be afraid to offer your help as well. I'll share my last story with you and we'll continue on with the celebration here. The last story, and probably the one that has stuck with me more than any of the other ones, came my senior year when I was running track. We had a track meet coming. Before I go any further, I loved James Wood sports. However, you will not find my name on the wall of fame inside there. I played several different sports, but the best way to describe me, the nicest way to describe my athletic prowess was that I was a below average athlete. So it came as a surprise to me. Our first track meet, we had our home meet. We had several different schools visiting, so it was a big deal. And they told me I got to run the 440. Anybody that's familiar with track, you know that's just one lap around, one and done. That's the race. It's a big deal. People enjoy this one. I was kind of confused. I didn't know why I was selected to be one of our runners here because I wasn't a star athlete. I wasn't the fastest one on the team. I wasn't even what you considered in shape at the time, but I was out there running the 440. So I said, hey, this is my moment. This is an opportunity. I'm gonna give this mile. Not only am I gonna win this race, I'm gonna set a new James Wood record here. So I went out there, the gun went off, and I took off running. And before I hit the first turn, I was about 20 yards ahead of everyone else. And in my mind, I just knew that coaches were over there calling colleges and calling their recruiters and saying, hey, come take a look at this kid. I got through the halfway mark, and the people behind me were like ants. They were so far behind. This was my day. But before I go any further, this is an absolutely true story, and there are hundreds of people out there that can verify this. I get to the third turn. All I have to do is finish this one strip right here, and it's done. And all of a sudden, my one arm starts to do this. And I've lost control of one arm. Then all of a sudden, this arm starts doing its own thing. Coincidentally, this is exactly what it looks like when I dance. But I'm doing this, I'm running, I'm trying to finish it off, and one leg starts to give out. So I'm running, and all of a sudden the other leg gives out. I'm doing one of these numbers, and before I know it, I fall flat on the track in the final 100 yards, and I can't move. I'm paralyzed for a few minutes. My mind had told me to go places that my body wasn't prepared to take me. So I'm laying there, and all I can do is lay there and watch these different shoes fly past me as everyone else finishes the race. And it was probably 15, 20 seconds. It felt like minutes or hours, but I finally was able to get up, dust myself off, and I was, whatever I had left, I was pretty humiliated. I tried to walk off the track just to have this thing behind me. And our track coach came out and he said, no, you finished the race. So I'm trying to have a conversation with the coach right in the middle of the track with everyone watching. I said, Coach, this has been embarrassing enough. Just let me out of here, save whatever dignity I've left. He said, no, you finished the race. And I said, why? This just doesn't make any sense. And I've never forgotten his words. He said, it's okay to stumble, but it's not okay to stop. He said, you finished the race, we'll deal with this tomorrow. So I finished the race and went on. But that has become just a microcosm for what I feel one of life's greatest lessons is. It's okay to stumble. We will all stumble. Stumbling is inevitable. Stopping is our choice. If you've committed to something, if you have a dream that you're chasing, whatever it may be, see it through to the end. Never quit. Never stop. Because here's what happens, and I can tell you this from experience. The first time you quit something, the first time you stop something, guess what? It's a heck of a lot easier to do it a second time. And it's even easier to do it a third time. And before you know it, you have a track record of a whole laundry list of items that you've never accomplished. If you stay true to your goal, no matter how hard it is, it's okay to stumble. It's okay to fall down and to get back up. But whatever you do, make that commitment today as you start the rest of your lives out there, 2020 graduates. Make it your life's mission to never, ever stop. That's how success happens. The folks that don't stop are the ones that succeed. It's as simple as a formula as that. I hope you take that to heart. Class of 2020, James Wood Colonels, the future is yours. Go out there and contribute to the world whatever gifts you have to offer, and every one of you has unique gifts to offer. Practice empathy and discernment. Know that God loves you and He has big plans for you to do great things. Whatever the next steps in your journey in life are, go out there, give it your all, and continue to make us proud. God bless you, and thank you.